Hello, IP4. I hope you're all well. This is week 4 of our online video lessons. Last week we started chapter 2, nouns, and we learned about common and proper nouns. This week we are carrying on with nouns, but we are going to be learning about singular and plural nouns. So very easy. I hope you all understand what singular and plural mean, but we do need to remember some rules when we are writing plural nouns. So that is what we will be reviewing today. Okay, so English chapter 2, nouns, lesson 2, singular and plural nouns. Okay. Hopefully you all remember that a singular noun names one person, place, or thing. So some examples. Could I borrow your pencil? The noun pencil is singular. So if I ask, can I borrow your pencil? You know that I only want one pencil. I don't want 10 pencils. I hurt my knee. I hurt one of my knees. I only hurt one knee. And let's jump in the puddle. Do you know what a puddle is? Like when it's been raining and there is water collected together on the floor, that is called a puddle. So if I say, let's jump in the puddle, I only want to jump in one puddle. And also you should remember that a plural noun names more than one person, place, or thing. So if I use a plural noun, I could be talking about 2 or 5 or 20 or 50 or 1,000 things, but definitely more than one. So if I say, could I borrow your pencils? Maybe you have some pencils, like 3 pencils on your desk, and for some reason I need to borrow all of them. So if I say, can I borrow your pencils? You know I need more than one. I hurt my knees. So I fell over and I hurt both of my knees. You can understand from that that I didn't hurt 3 knees because I've only got 2 anyway. So I hurt my knees means I hurt both of them. And if I say let's jump in the puddles, there must be a few puddles on the ground and I want to jump in all of them. So when we use plural nouns, we know that we're talking about more than one person, place, or thing. But when we make plural nouns, we need to remember some rules, which we are going to look at today. So most of the time, it's quite easy to make a plural noun. For most singular nouns, you can turn them into plural nouns just by adding s. So window means one window. Windows means there's more than one window. So windows is plural, we just add s to make window, windows, to make singular, plural. Whiteboard, if there's a whiteboard in your classroom, you say whiteboard. If there's more than one whiteboard, you add s, whiteboards. That means more than one. If I say, let's go to the supermarket, I only want to go to one supermarket. If I say, let's go to the supermarkets, maybe I'm looking for something and I want to go to Tesco, Big C, Tops to find this thing that I'm looking for. So I say, let's go to the supermarkets, means more than one, because we have s, plural. If I say, look at that tree, then there's only one tree. If I say, look at those trees, there's more than one tree. Okay. But we also need to remember that it's not always that easy. We have to remember some rules. We have to be careful. If a noun ends with the letter s, or a sh, or a ch, or an x, you don't add s, you add es to make it plural. So the noun dress, the last letter in dress is an s. So I don't add another s to make that plural. That would be like dress. We don't do that. That doesn't mean more than one. We add es. So dresses, like I don't have, but maybe you, if you're a girl, maybe you have 5 dresses. Wish. like make a wish, ends with a sh sound. We don't put an S to make wishes. We have ES, wishes, wishes. Brunch. Do you know what brunch is? Brunch is like a meal that you have later than breakfast, but earlier than lunch. So a plural of brunch, if you have brunch every day, you have brunches, ES. Axe, do you know axe? Like to cut down a tree. You add ES to axe to make axes. We also need to remember that if a noun ends with a consonant and Y, we change Y to I and then add ES to make it plural. So you need to remember that a consonant is a letter which is not a vowel. And vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. So look at these examples. Family. Family ends with L-Y. L is a consonant. So I change the Y after the consonant L to I, and then I add ES. So family becomes families. F-A-M-I-L-I-E-S. There's no Y anymore. I've changed that to I and then added ES. Country. Country ends with R-Y. R is another consonant. It's not A-E-I-O-U, it's a letter, but that is not a vowel. So again, I've changed Y to I. Now I have countries, C-O-U-N-T-R-I-E-S, no more Y. Butterfly ends with L-Y. So again, I do not just add S, I change Y to I, and then I add ES because it ends with consonant and Y. Last one, sky. If I say look in the skies, then I do not just add S, I do not just add ES, I change Y to I, then add ES. So again, skies, S-K-I-E-S, no more Y. Make sure you remember we only change Y to I when the letter before Y is a consonant. If the letter before Y is a vowel, so if you have A, E, I, O, or U before the letter Y, then it's just a normal noun. You don't need to change anything, you just add S. So way, like a way to do something, ends in AY. A is a vowel, not a consonant, so just add S. Turkey, like a bird that you eat at Christmas or Thanksgiving, ends with EY. So no consonant, just a vowel E, add S as normal. Day, this is a day, there are 7 days in a week, it's just a normal noun. You don't change Y to I and then add ES. I've seen lots of people do that. They've seen the word day, they've seen it ends with a Y, and they've thought, oh, I need to change Y to I. You don't need to do that. You just add S. And last one, boy. Like there are boys in the classroom. Again, we don't change Y to I and add ES. You just add S. So remember, when you see the letter Y at the end of a noun, you need to look carefully if we're making it plural. If the letter before Y is a consonant, then you change Y to I, add ES. If the letter before Y is a vowel, A, E, I, O, or U, you don't change Y to I. You just add S like you normally do. Okay. Unfortunately, some nouns are irregular and they don't follow any of the rules that we've just learned. So their plural forms spelled completely differently to their singular forms. And there's no easy rule to remember. You just have to remember these examples. So person, we don't say persons, we say people. Woman, We don't say woman's, we say women, W-O-M-E-N. Man, if there's more than one man, you don't say look at the mans, you say look at the men, M-E-N. You are a child. In your class, there is more than one child, there are children. Mouse, plural of mouse is mice, not mouses. Tooth, this is one tooth. These are my teeth. Teeth. Foot, you have like one foot on your left leg and one foot on your right leg. Together you have 2 feet, not 2 foots. Goose, if you know, a goose is a bird. If there's more than one goose, there are geese. Sometimes there are irregular nouns that are spelled exactly the same as if they're singular or plural. The examples we just looked at, the plural form is spelled completely differently to its singular form. But sometimes irregular nouns are spelled exactly the same, whether you have one or more than one. So these examples we're going to look at, they're animals. A deer, like reindeer, you don't say deers. The singular and plural form of the word deer is the same, deer, deer. Moose, again, a moose is an animal, and if you have one moose or more than one moose, you still just say moose. Sheep, I think you know sheep. You could have 1 sheep or 10 sheep, but it's the same noun, you don't say sheeps. And again, fish, you could have 1 fish or more than 1 fish. You don't say fishes. I could just say there are fish in the sea, and obviously there's more than 1 fish in the sea. Okay, IP4, that is the end of our lecture this week. So now, before we go, I'm going to explain your homework. So this is quite an easy worksheet, especially section 1. Section 1, decide whether the underlined noun is singular or plural. So look at the underlined noun, roosters crow in the morning. Noun underlined is roosters. If you think that that is a singular noun on this line, write singular. If you think that that is a plural noun, write plural. Very easy. Do the same for questions 1 to question 10. Look at the underlined noun and write singular or plural. Section 2 is a little bit more difficult. Here you have some singular nouns and you need to make them plural using the rules that we learned during lesson 4. So you have the word angle, like a right angle. How do we make angle plural? What do you need to do? Do you add s? Do you change a y to an I and add es? Is it irregular? You need to figure that out for yourself. So 11 to 25, there are 15 nouns. You need to use the rules that we've learned, look at the nouns carefully, and decide how to make them plural. Okay, IP4, that is the end of this week's lesson. I hope you all understand. I hope you all remember those rules. So until next week, bye-bye IP4.